few, and I like to not even mention their names. It's been so awful. I'm just going to make breakfast now. I hope that Landau, the cat here, can stay level. He doesn't run off tonight in the cat club. You understand, Landau? No more. You wouldn't talk to the cats on the street like you just talked to me. And I don't appreciate it. No more fancy fees. That's it. No more marijuana. You're getting catnip. You're too crazy. Look at you. You're skin and bones. You stay in one night. All right. I know you won't listen. You're just going to wait till I go to sleep and see that. I think in 1988 or something like that, I left the Ramones. And I saw John again. And it wasn't really so bad, even though that he got off in my bathroom, the usual, you know, all the silverware was gone. I kind of got an inkling that it might have started a relapse, which would have probably happened anyway. But something about that really set me off, you know. And I started, you know, really realizing I could never be around Thunders again.
Okay. So now we go into the Paris story. Okay? There's some surprises on that story. This is the end, you know what I mean? So I need some headings there. You put the guitar away, okay?
Okay.
There's no continuity there.
I like to play. Yeah. I have every time. That's all I like to do, just sit the Ruby plays thing. About, you know, maybe 6 months or so after I left the Ramones, I got a call from Paris from Steve Baders. And he said, you want to come over and play in a band with some guy, Chris, from the Godfathers, and on guitar, and a guy, Vom, on drums, and Steve singing me on bass. And during the course of the conversation, he said, John's here, you want to say hello to him? And I was very firm and very direct to the point. I said, I cannot talk to John, and, you know, I didn't really know the situation. I didn't know that he crashed at their place, at Bader's and Carol's house. And because before, a year before that, Steve had like totally negative things to say about Thunders. So, you know, I was shocked that Steve had him at his house and all, but I made it clear to him, you know, we did end the discussion on the phone, and we had a lot of others, that I would go to Paris with my ex-girlfriend Laura, and my ex-management company thought it was a good idea. And but it was all out in the open that I would not go to play with Johnny Thunders, or I would not even go in the house if he was there. So, you know, I end up in Paris. Steve and Carol pick me and Laura up at the airport. We drive over to the house, and he's sitting there, all depressed, total misery addict, and my heart went out to him. I mean, he was just so sad, you know. And I was shocked, you know. I hadn't realized how bad you could end up. You know, I guess I had it really good, and I was really well taken care of. And these guys, like, really, you know, were in bad shape. Like, Steve started telling me right away, let's all go to sleep now, because we want to get on a day schedule so we can, like, feel not depressed and walk around the daytime. And he said we should take like some sleeping pills so we'll get a good sleep. Well, I gave all mine to Laura. You know, she had learned probably from Vera what to do, and Vera gave her told her all the tricks how to handle Dee Dee, and I was cooperating, and I gave her everything, you know. And nobody ever got up anymore. And then all the craziness started, you know. There's like really serious evil vibes in this place. And Steve Baders is a very psychic person, and he was like very in touch with, I guess, the spirit world. He was like, I don't know if this is true what I'm saying, but he made suggestions of satanic messages being sent there. And I asked him about the constant cold in the place. And he said that was the sign of it, you know, that the devil was in the house. And I sure believed it, you know, and I know he was there. If the such a thing could happen, then it would definitely happen then. And it's really weird what was going on, you know. And the heroin use wasn't bothering me. Steve and Carol, I don't think were doing it. And Stiv was like, I couldn't figure him out because I didn't see him doing any drugs, but all he would do was have like one drink every night, and he said they get loaded on it, you know, and I thought it was the pills, and I don't think he was really taking those pills either. I found out later he had like no liver, and then he couldn't get up because if he had a drink, it like kill him off for 3 days. And Laura and I, you know, Laura was really worried because, and then she was like losing it too because like everything was being stolen, you know. And Carol was supposedly running the household, and there was like a lot of like people like coming in the house, very outlaw types, social deviants, you know, the usual. And we were thinking that they might always took everything. And I had no money, and I had bought, spent my last dime to get there on top of everything else. I bought Laura like a expensive watch at the airport, and that was gone. She was like pissed, you know. And we asked Carol, you know, what happened. She said, well, the maid took it. I said, why don't you ask the maid where it is, you know, and all. No help on anything, just like she was obviously in love with Johnny Thunders, and Stiv was taking the brunt of it. And that, you know, just fueled everything insaner. And it kind of came, I know I'm leaving out a lot here. Maybe I better too, you know. So Laura and I were stranded. We could not use the phone. We did not know how to get around. We tried to escape. We made it out of the house one day, and we went down to Pigalle on the subway. And the first thing we saw there was like a boss and 2 enforcers kidnap a guy right on the street. And I was thinking, what is this guy on? You know, because he kept falling down. And then I knew, because they started rapping their fist on the car windows, I knew they had knuckle dusters on, and they were going to, you know, collect. We watched as they took him around the alley and worked him over and probably killed him. And, you know, this is like, just like what was going on, you know. And the reason I'm like saying this, it's like just something like out of, you know, one of these horror movies where they see like, you know, dogs that turn satanic. Everywhere you look, you know, if there's a statue, it'll turn into a insane mummy, you know, and attack you, you know. Everywhere we saw there was violence. But basically, the end of it involved like a long drive out into the country to supposedly record, where we drove for like 20 hours there and back. John could not cop. He drove me crazy. I was really getting aggravated. He got out in some alley. Before we even left Paris, it took 3 hours to look for hash. And, you know, even I was a serious hash smoker. I said, man, I'm fed up. Let's just get out of here. And I knew it. You know, we were promised the hash when we got to the studio, and it wasn't even there. And then I just lost it. You know, I was really getting demented, and I was just storing it up. And I might have yelled a lot, though. I think I didn't, you know. I think Laura, was always, trying to, you know, calm me down. But I was losing it, I admit it. And we got back to their place, and the hallway was dark, and we crawled up the stairs, and this luxury, penthouse, apartment, all the way up there in the dark. And it didn't make it nicer when I got up there, and you know, it just seemed like the devil was right in there. Now, Thunders was playing a solo show at Gibby's in Paris the next night, and I think he was leaving the next morning. And he had packed everything before the show, and Laura and I didn't want to go, but Carol insisted to the point of where I could not find my coat. And it was a coat that had a big history, like Jerry and Nolan and I had saw it at the same time. This is years and years ago. And we had it out almost over that coat. You know, I don't know what was with this coat, but, you know, it was always causing a fight. And so Carol was insisting that I go to Gibby's without my coat, and it was dead of winter. And she's, oh, just come downstairs, you know. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. She works herself up hysterically, so you cannot communicate with her. And there was definitely a lack of communication, because I could not explain to her that at that point I was like drug-free. I didn't want to go to Jibby's, where every junkie in Paris would be there, because, you know, I was a little played out on that. I wanted to see John. I wanted to go out, but I couldn't go out on top of everything without my coat. So they just left us eventually. I don't know how we got out of going. And I think she did come back and get us. But by that time, you know, I just thought, oh man, John must be stealing everything. I opened his suitcase and there was my coat. Now, I think I might have misjudged who was doing the stealing. You know, and maybe Thunder's like, put it in there. He definitely was stealing it, but you know, I could see it being a little more Thunderish than Carolish, you know. And so I was pissed, you know. And you know, I can't remember one day from the other. I remember that show. I remember I played that night, and I listened to what Carol said about music. I like definitely was the best received, you know, that evening. And John was like really angry and wouldn't even take pictures with us backstage, because we were all taking like disgusting pictures back there. And we were having a lot of fun. He didn't want to have any fun. He was all pissed off. And I don't even know why. You know, we were treating him so good. We were spending like $100 a day on that guy to let him smoke hash. Just because we felt sorry for him. Because he was so sad about breaking up with his wife, and that's the thing that was flipping him out. And it had been like 2 years or a year already, and he was still upset. And he seemed very vulnerable, and you wouldn't want to hurt this guy, you know. It's just like kicking a puppy to death or something, you know, if you would have. It was a bad scene, you know. I better think about what I'm going to say now, you know. You know, I wanted to kill them all. You know, I definitely wanted to kill Laura, John, Carol, anyone. And I was worried about it, and because I was always just getting nicked in any way by the skin of my teeth, just being Dee Dee, you know. And then they told me before the kids that this tattoo means like fuck the police in French, and they beat the hell out of me, you know, every day. And so, man, you know, I couldn't even take a good yelling at this point. I'm so nervous, you know. I would have just broken down into it, you know. Ugh, I'm finished, all right? I don't have nothing left. And, you know, I didn't know how to take it, you know. I don't know if I'm getting too direct to the point. I don't want to. What brought this all upon this, I think it's like really things that shouldn't be talked about. I was like not instigating these things. I was trying to get through it, and there was no way. And of course, I am Dee Dee, and I'm gonna act out too, right? I'm far from perfect. And I want to say, now how can I settle this? You know, how can I fucking settle? I just sat them all down there, and I put like 4 stilettos on the table. I had one. I was like, let's go for it, you know. No one make a move. And Laura was like just ice, man. And I sat there and I said, you know, I realized it wasn't much of a fight. It was like weird, you know. I couldn't get any satisfaction. There was nothing I could do. I mean, they're all these like little skinny guys. And these 2 girls or whatever, I don't know, you know. I said, well, how am I going to take this? You know, what am I going to do, you know? And Laura just said, let's get out of town, you know. I said, how the hell can we get out of here? We don't even know how to use the phone. I want you dead too, because you drove me crazy. You wouldn't give me a break on this, man. I said, fuck the watch. Fuck all of it, you know. I said, I've like had it, you know. I just don't give a damn. But you know, you got this like respect thing with your girlfriend on. I know she was right, you know. I think she was right. It was like street justice, you know. And that's the only kind we knew. And so, you know, we settled it a different way, which I'm not going to get into. And I don't know how I've survived it. I've had to go through the extreme. I came back from Paris with the heroin habit again. It kicked my ass at my age. I was very broken down. There's no way I could be doing dope. I don't even think I could really do it. I think I'd do it for like 3 or 4 days and break down like just so bad I couldn't even like leave the house to cop anyway. And then I just wait a couple weeks and do it again. And I got arrested twice. When I went to jail, I realized it wasn't tough enough to be there anymore. No way, I just couldn't take it. The police were following me, like just, clowning with me, having a great time, New York Police Department, okay, thanks a lot, if that's justice, fuck you guys. But whatever, you can always make something good out of something bad, and I did, I always use that slogan to myself, that sobriety is the best revenge. And I started my trying to get off the dope. And I went on the methadone program, and I ran, and now I got 6 months off it. And my other friends are all dead. Okay.
Great.
No, you can't change these. They're permanent, and it's like if you want to be outlaw forever, then go get them. If you don't, I don't know. I think some of the real, some people I've seen, they don't get them over to here. Then they have a shirt on it. But I don't know. I think if you got it, then do it. Definitely you can't get one tattoo, You're going to have to get another one. This is like shooting dope. It's probably why I got them. One extreme to the other. I don't think I'm going to get any more, though. Probably, though. Okay.
Okay, great.
That's a wrap. All right. You got what this thing. Okay, good.
Can we rip down?
I was trying to signal, but I couldn't do it.
How's the footage?
Reload.
It's just very, I was happy with something. But see, it makes sense. No, I don't know what happened. It's just that I'm like, yeah, the extreme positions. I'm stuck. Yeah, just watch it. I was needing somebody to push me just to hear.
That's my technique.
I was like,
I don't bother with that stuff. I be myself. I do what I want to do. I figure that Alfred E. Newman stuff, what me worry at this point? Are you kidding? As long as I don't have a smack habit and don't have to drink, that's my business. Uh-oh. So, I don't go by what your parents or what anybody in authority would be telling you to do. Me, I believe in outlaw. It's pretty much says it all. And one thing I liked about John is I think he felt like outlaw too, because you could tell from a lot of his later day gear he was wearing. He's wearing hideout technique things, so because he knew he's against the law, and he would wear those Arab type headdresses that cover his face and just peek his eyes out. That's a little sneaky, because then if he ever did do something bad, he could say, well, how do you know it was me? I mean, you didn't see me, right? I had a long raincoat on and my face was covered. And you couldn't see my hair or nothing except my eyes. And that's a laugh to me. I think that's the right way to go. More like a Maoist type society now, where, It's like a different kind of revolution now than I had. I don't know if you can be yourself. You need to be on a team running a gang.